But do you see anything illegal these students have done?
Illegal? No. I mean, it's their campus. Are there laws against setting up a tent on a campus? Not that I'm aware of. I think the school's arguing that it's against their policies in terms of how you're allowed to assemble. But I mean, exactly. If this was for a different cause that wasn't such a threat to the establishment, there's no way we'd be seeing this crackdown. I think that's a fair thing to say. And also, as you talked about the hysteria, there's such an effort right now to paint these students as anti-Semitic, even though the only known examples of anti-Semitism actually come from Zionists. There was at a school, I forgot where, but where someone yelled "kill the Jews," and that was actually a Zionist protester. Yet pro-Palestinian protesters or anti-genocide protesters were the ones who found themselves getting arrested. And so, of course, we're going to see these weaponization of anti-Semitism claims. And I said this before: even if there weren't a single Jewish person taking part in the anti-genocide protests, which of course there are, there's been Passover services and Shabbat services held at several of these protests. Even if there wasn't, for some reason, a single Jewish person there, it would still be just as ridiculous to call these protests anti-Semitic. It's obvious. I mean, it's dumb to even have to explain why. But because these supporters of genocide are so desperate, that's the tactic that they're using, and the media is picking up on it, of course, because that's all they do.
Let's watch that moment that you mentioned. One of many, many hate crime hoaxes taking place under the auspices of woke Zionism, a fake at Northeastern University, a fake hate crime that got 200 people arrested.
Mic check. Mic check. Got it. Okay. Kill the Jews. Anybody on board? Anybody on board?
Let's watch that again.
Okay. Kill the Jews. Anybody on board? Anybody on board?
So you can see those are pro-Israel counter protesters. They're trying to make it sound like someone called for killing the Jews. Then they say, anybody on board? This was misreported. Everybody there was arrested. The university administration at Northeastern in Boston has refused to accept accountability for wrongfully arresting 200 people. And they've said that the fact that anyone said kill the Jews shows how volatile and dangerous these protests are, even though it's the force being protested against. And I mean, you can even see that mainstream media, like the neoconservative Daily Beast, which is normally, on the side of any establishment force, reported that pro-Israel protesters were responsible for this fake hate crime. Around 100 protesters were arrested. So sorry, it was 100, not 200 on Saturday at a pro-Palestine encampment at Northeastern University, but not the one whose hate speech got everything shut down. So that guy, the hoaxer, got away with it. And this is
the reason why that Daily Beast article was good and accurate, I believe Layla Al-Arian pointed this out on Twitter, was that the reason why that was an accurate article is because it was written by an intern at the Daily Beast, like someone who's not like high level. So that's why there was actually some accurate journalism from the Daily Beast on this. Otherwise, I don't think that aberration would have happened.
Well, maybe that intern got their like $6 an hour salary pulled for that. I don't know.
Probably, yeah.
When I briefly was at the Daily Beast, as soon as I started covering Palestine critically, I was out the door. This constant theme of older women being brutalized by giant roided up cops. This is just one of many examples. It's Washington University in St. Louis. Very wealthy school with lots of Zionist donors. That's who those cops are acting on behalf of. They're beating a woman who looks to be like 75, 80 years old. We saw a presidential candidate get roughed up, arrested for simply being present at one of these protests. Jill Stein, the only candidate I know of who's on the ballot in lots of states who opposes genocide. That's Jill Stein being walked away after she attempted to lead a negotiation between the cops and the students. She was subsequently charged with assaulting an officer. It was a ferocious presence.
Wow.
Where's the woman, as Sina Tusi, an American-Iranian analyst pointed out, where's the Women Life Freedom crowd to protest this relentless brutalization of older women by gigantic cops? We're not seeing it.
Medea Benjamin as well.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that because we're going to do the White House Press Correspondents Association dinner. Here's another example of criminal activity by the police chief of the Arizona campus police. He's the guy in yellow. He's dressed in civilian clothes, and he's destroying private property in order to prevent the students from coming back. We'll watch that one more time. And this is, ABC exposed him. So, I mean, this is happening across the country right now at the University of Texas. You showed that people are being beaten.